Our Alyssa Donovan explains how the Atlanta shooting reminded one woman of a racially charged murder that happened right here in Indiana.
I was really shocked, and I'm still. There are no words to describe how I feel.
When Melanie Castillo-Cullither heard that 6 women of Asian descent were among the victims in the Atlanta spa shooting on Tuesday, it was more than just heartbreak.
Because this just brought back memories of a time in Indiana, in our campus at Indiana University in 1999.
To this very moment.
1 June, he was kind, generous, and caring to everyone he met in his community. But he was gunned down by one insane, full of racial hatred, young American man.
It really brought back a very vivid memory of the student was singled out because he was Asian and he was murdered by a white supremacist.
Castillo-Cullither, who is the director of the Asian Culture Center at Indiana University, had been working at the school for only 6 months at the time of the murder. The Atlanta attack showing her that not much has changed since then when it comes to the way her community is viewed.
And it made me think that we've never really moved the needle if that pervasive anti-Asian racism and anti-Asian hostility. It's still there.
She says, if anything, the pandemic has added to the problems that were already there.
When the old administration, the former president, started calling COVID as Kung Flu and that it was a Chinese virus, that really had consequences. And that was basically the start of how students felt like uncomfortable and also felt afraid.
Studies show hate crimes against Asian Americans have increased significantly over the last year in major cities across the country. Incidents have also been reported in the Hoosier State. Groups like the Indiana chapter of the National Asian Pacific Women's Forum are trying to make a change.
We had come out with this petition actually about a week before the incidents in Atlanta,
collecting nearly 2,000 signatures asking Governor Eric Holcomb to condemn and combat racism against Indiana's Asian American communities. The governor signed a bias crime law back in 2019 to protect those who are targets of these crimes. However, the group hopes to get more proactive measures in place to protect the Asian American population in our state.
So we came up with this petition as a way to really amplify and bring awareness to what was happening, but also at the same time to suggest concrete community-based actions.
We want to make sure that Indiana is not going to be one of those places that have this kind of tragedy. We already had one in 1999. Let's not have it again.
I'm Alyssa Donovan, WRTV.